I'm Zoe and friends. Today we're going to be reading The One and Only Ivan. It might seem long, but it's not. Okay. By Katherine Applegate, the #1 New York Times bestseller. And the new book, The One and Only Bob, is coming soon in summer 2020. Okay. I'm Ivan. I'm a gorilla. It's not as easy as it looks. Names. People call me the freeway gorilla, the ape at exit 8, the one and only Ivan, mighty silverback. The names are mine, but they're not me. I am Ivan, just Ivan, only Ivan. Humans waste words. They toss them like bananas peels and leave them to rot. Everyone knows the peels are the best part. I suppose you think gorillas can't understand you. Of course, you also probably think we can't walk upright. Try knuckle walking for an hour. You tell me which way is more fun. Patience. I've learned to understand human words over the years. But understanding human speech is not the same as understanding humans. Humans speak too much. They chatter like chimps, crowding the world with their noise, even when they have nothing to say. It took me some time to recognize all those human sounds, to weave words into things. But I was patient. Patient is a useful way when you're an ape. Gorillas are patient as stones. Humans, not so much. How I look. I used to be a wild gorilla, and I still look the part. I have the gorilla's shy gaze, the gorilla's sly smile. I wear a snowy saddle of fur with the uniform of a silverback. When the sun warms my back, I cast a gorilla's majestic shadow. In my size, humans see the test of themselves. They hear frightening words in the wind. When I'm thinking is how the late day sun reminds me of a ripe banana. I'm mightier than any human. 400 pounds of pure power. My body looks made for a battle. My arms outstretched, span taller than the tallest human. My family tree spreads wide as well. I am a great ape, and you are a great ape. And so are chimpanzees and orangutans and others. All of us distant and distrustful cousins. I know this is troubling to find. It's hard to believe there is a connection across time and space, linking me to a race of ill-mannered clowns, chimps. There's no excuse for me. The exit 8 Big Top Mall and the video arcade. I live in a human habitat called the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and a video arcade. We are conveniently located off one of I-98, 95, which shows at 2, 4, and 7, 365 days a year. Mac says that when he answers the furling telephone, Mac works here at the mall. He is the boss. I work here too. I'm a gorilla. At the Big Top Mall, a creaky music carousel spins all day. The monkeys and parrots live amid the merchants. In the middle of the mall is a ring with benches where humans sit on their rumps while they eat soft pretzels. The floor is covered with sawdust made of dead trees. My domain is at one end of a ring. I live here because I am too much gorilla and not enough human. Stella's domain is next to me. Stella is an elephant. She and Bob, who is a dog, are my dearest friends. At present, I do not have any gorilla friends. My domain is made of thick glass and rusty metal and rough cement. Stella's domain is made of metal bars. The sun bear's domain is wood. Parrot's is wire mesh. 3 of my walls are glass. 1 of them is cracked. And a small piece about the size of my hand. It's missing from its bottom corner. I made the whole with a baseball that Mac gave me for my 6th birthday. After that, he took the bat away, but he let me keep the baseball that came with it. The jungle scene is painted by one of the domain walls. It has a waterfall without water and flowers, without scents, and trees without roots. I didn't paint it, but enjoy the way the shapes flow across my wall, even if it isn't much of a jungle. I am lucky my domain has 3 windowed walls. I can see the whole mall and a bit of the world beyond. The frantic pinball machines, the pink bellows of cotton candy, the vast and treeless parking lots. Beyond the lots is a freeway where cars stampede without an end. A giant sign at the edge beckons them to stop and rest and glaze the hole at the watering hole. The sign is faded. The colors are bleeding. But I know what it says. Mac read it words. Mac read it words aloud every day. Come to the Exit 8, Big Top Mall, and the Video Arcade, home of one and only Ivan, Mighty Silverback! Sadly, I cannot read. Although I wish I could. Reading stories would make a fine way to fill my empty hours. Once, however, I was able to enjoy a book left in my domain by one of my keepers. It tasted like termite. The freeway billboard has a drawing of Mac in his clown clothes and Stella in her hind legs, an angry animal, fierce as an uncle hair. The animal is supposed to be me, but the artist made a mistake. I'm never angry. Anger is precious. A silverback uses anger to maintain order and warn his sheep of danger. When my father beat his chest, it was to say, "Beware, listen. I am in charge. I'm angry to protect you because that's what I was born to do. Here in my domain, there is no one to protect." The littlest big top on earth. My neighborhoods here at the Big Top Mall know many tricks. They're exhausted a lot, most accomplished than I am. One of my neighbors plays baseball, although she is a chicken. Another drives a fire truck, although he is a rabbit. I used to have a neighbor, a sleek and thoughtful seal, who could bounce a ball on her nose from dawn till dusk. Her voice was like a throaty bark of a dog chained aside a cold of night. Children wished pennies and tossed them into a plastic pool. They glowed on the bottom like the flat of a cobblestone. The seal was angry one day, or bored, or perhaps she ate 100 pennies. Mac said she'll be fine. He was mistaken. Matt calls our show the littlest big top on earth. Every day and at 2, 4, and 7, humans fan themselves drinking sodas, applaud. Babies wail. Mac, dressed as a clown, pebbles at a tiny bike. A dog named Snickers, hey, there's such an animal name with that, rides on Stella's back. Stella sits on a stool. It is a very sturdy stool. I don't do any tricks. Max says it's enough for me to be me. Stella told me that some circuses move from one town to another town. They have humans who dangle on ropes swinging from top of the tents. They have rumbling lions with gleaming teeth and a snaking line of elephants. Each tugging of the limp tail is in front of her. The elephants took far into the distance so they won't see the humans who want to see them. Our circus doesn't migrate. We just sit where we are, like an old beast too tired to push on. After our show, humans forage through the stories. A store is where humans buy things and they need to survive. At the Big Top Mall, some stores sell new things like tiny balloons, a t-shirt, and a cap covers the gleaming heads of humans. Some stories sell one thing. Some stores sell one thing. Things that smell dusty and damp and long forgotten. All day I watch humans scurry from store to store. They pass their green paper, dry as old leaves, and smelling of 1,000 hands, back and forth, back again. They hurt financially, stalking, pushing, grumbling. Then they leave, clutching bags filled with things, bright things, soft things, big things. But no matter how full of bags, they always come back for more. Humans are clever indeed. They're spin pink clouds you can't eat. They build domains with flat waterfalls, but they are lousy hunters. Gone. Some animals live practically unwatched, but that is not my life. My life is flashing lights and pointing fingers and invited visitors. lynching away. Humans flatten their little hands against the wall of glass and spreads us. The glass says, you are this and we are that, and that is how we will always be. That doesn't make sense. Humans leave their fingerprints behind, sticky with candy, silk, and sweat. Each night, a weary man comes to wipe them away. Sometimes I press my nose against the glass. My nose prints, like a fingerprint, but that is the first and last and the only one. A man wipes the glass, and then I am gone. Artist. Here is my domain. I do not have much to do. You can only throw so many meatballs at humans before they get bored. A meatball is made of rolling and dung until it's the size of a small apple, then letting it dry. I always keep a few on my hand. For some reason, my visitors never seem to carry any. Ew. In my domain, I have a tire swing, a baseball, a tiny plastic pool filled with dirty water, and even an old TV. I've stuffed toy gorilla, too. Julia, the daughter of the weary man who cleans the mall each night, gave it to me. The gorilla has empty eyes and floppy limbs, but I sleep with it every night. I call it non-tag. Tag was my twin sister's name. Julia is 10 years old. She has hair like back glass and a wide half-moon smile. She and I have a lot in common. We are both great apes, and we both are artists. It was Julia who gave me the first crayon, a stubby blue one. Slipped through the broken spot in my glass along with a folded piece of paper. I know what to do with it. I watched Julia draw. When I dragged the crayon across the paper, it left a trail like a wake of silvery blue snake. Julia's drawings are wild of colors, of color and emotion and movement. She draws things that aren't real, clouds that smile and cars that swim. She draws until her crayon breaks and her paper rips. Her pictures are like pieces of a dream. I can't draw dreamy pictures. I never remember my dreams, although sometimes I wake in my fists clenched and my heart hammering. My drawings seem pale and timid next to Julia's. She draws an idea in her head. I draw things in my cage, simply image items that fill my days. An apple core, banana peel, a candy wrapper. I often eat my subjects before I draw them. But even though I draw the same thing over and over and over again, I never get bored with my art. When I'm drawing, that's all I think about. I don't think about where I am, about yesterday or tomorrow. I just move my crayons across paper. Humans don't always seem to recognize what I've drawn. They squint, lock their hands, murmur. I'll draw a banana, perfectly lovely banana, and they'll say, "It's a yellow airplane," or "It's a duck without wings." That's all right. I'm not drawing for them. I'm drawing for me. Max soon realized that people will pay for a picture made by a gorilla, even if they don't know what it is. Now I draw it every day. My work sells for $20 a piece, $25 with a frame. at the gift shop near my domain. If I get tired and I need a break, I eat my crayons. Shapes and clouds. I think I've always been an artist. Even as a baby, I clinged to my mother and I had an artist's eyes. Now I shaped like in clouds, sculptures, and tumbling stones at the bottom of a stream. I grabbed at the colors and a flower just reached. And then a bony bird streaks past. I don't remember much about my early life, but I do remember this. Whenever I caught my chance, I would dip my fingers into cool mud, and my mother used my brother's back for a canvas. She was a patient soul, my mother. Imagination. Someday I hope I can draw the way Julia draws, imagining worlds that don't exist. I know what most humans think. They think gorillas don't have imaginations. They think we don't remember our past or ponder our futures. Come on to think of it. I suppose they do have a point. Mostly I think about what is and not what can be. I've learned not to get my hopes up. The loneliest gorilla in the world. When the big top mall was first built, it smelled of new paint and fresh hay. The humans came to visit from morning till night. They drifted past my domain like logs on lazy rivers. Lately, a day might go by without a signal visitor. Max says he's worried. He says I'm not cute anymore. He says, Ivan, you lost your magical eye. You gotta hit it. It used to be true that some of my visitors don't linger the way they used to. They stare through the glass, cluck their tongues. They frown while I watch my TV. He looks lonely, they say. Not long ago, a little boy stood before my glass, tears streaming down of his smooth red cheeks. "You must have been the lonely gorilla in the world," he said. Clunging his mother's hand. At times like that, I wish humans could understand the way I can understand them. It's not so bad, I wanted to tell the little boy. With enough time, you can be useful without anything. TV. My visitors are often surprised at the CMTV Mac put in my domain. They find it odd, the sight of a gorilla staring into a human's tiny box. My TV is old. It doesn't always work, and sometimes days will go by without anyone remembers to turn it on. I'll watch anything. I'm practically fond of cartoons, bright jungling colors. I especially enjoy when sometimes slips a banana peel. Bob, my friend, loves TV almost as much as I do. He prefers to watch professional bowling and cat food commercials. Bob and I have seen romantic movies too. And in a romantic, there is hugging and sometimes face licking. I haven't to see a single romantic staring at a gorilla. We also enjoy old Western movies. In the Westerns, somebody says, "This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Sheriff." In the Western, you can tell who's the good guys and who are the bad guys. And the good guys always win. Bob says Westerns are nothing like real life. The Nature Show. I've been in my domain for 9,855 days alone with non-tag. For a while, when I was young and foolish, I thought I was the last gorilla on Earth. I tried to not dwell on it. Still, it's hard to say a beat when you think there are no more of you. Then one night, after I watched a movie without men in black hats and guns and feeble-minded horses, a different show came on. It wasn't a cartoon, not a romance, not a Western. It was lush forest. I heard birds murmuring, the glass moved, the trees rustled. Then I saw him. He was a bit three-beard and scrungy. Oh, just sickening. As suddenly as he appeared, the gorilla vanished, and in his place was a scurvy white animal called, I learned, a polar bear. And then a chubby white creature called the manatee. And then another animal, and another, and another, and another. All night I sat wondering about the gorilla I glimpsed. Where did he live? Would he ever come to visit? If there was as he somewhere, could there be a she as well? Or was it just the two of us in the world, trapped in our despair boxes? Stella says she is sure if I see another real-life gorilla one day, and I believe her because she is older than I am, and has black eyes and black stars. No one is more than I can ever know. Stella is a mountain. Next to her, I'm a rock. Bob is a grain of sand. Every night when the story closes and the moon washes the world with milky light, Stella and I talk. We don't have much in common, but we do have enough. We are huge and alone, and we both love yogurt raisins. Sometimes Stella tells stories of a childhood. A leafy canoes hidden by a mist and the busy songs, flowering water. Unlike me, she recalls every detail of her past. Stella loves the moon with an untroubled smile. Love the feel of the sun on my belly. She says, "It's quite a belly, my friend." I say, "Thank you, and so is yours." We talk, but not too much. Elephants, like gorillas, do not waste words. Stella used a performance in a large famous circus, and she does some of those tricks for our show. During our one stunt, Stella stands on her hind legs while Snickers jumps on her head. It's hard to stand on your hind legs when weight is more than 40 men. If you are a circus elephant and you stand on your hind legs and a dog jumps on your head, you get a treat. If you do not, the claw stick comes swinging. Elephant's hide is thick and bark in it. of an ancient tree, but claw stick can pierce it like a leaf. Once Stella saw a trainer, he hit a bull elephant with a claw stick. The bull is like a silverback. Noble, contained, calm, like a cobra is calm. When the claw stick caught in the bull's flesh, he tossed the trainer into the air with his tusk. The man flew. Stella said, like an ugly bird, she never saw the bull again. Stella's trunk. Stella's trunk is a miracle. She can pick up a single peanut with the elephant's precision, tickled a passing moose, and tap on the shoulder of a dozing keeper. Her trunk is remarkable, but still I can't unlatch the door of her tumble-down domain. Circling Stella's legs are long scarves of change where she wore as youth bracelets, she calls them. When she worked at famous circuses, Stella had to balance one on a pedestal for her most difficult trick. One day, she fell off and injured her foot. When she went lame and lagged behind the elephants, the circus sold her to Mac. Stella's foot never healed completely. She limps when she walks, and sometimes her foot gets infected when she stands in one place for too long. Last winter, Stella's foot swelled to twice its normal size. She had a fever, and she laid on a damp, cold floor in her domain for 5 days. There were very long days. Even now, I am sure she's completely better. She never complains, though it's so hard to know. At the Big Top Mall, no one bothers with iron shackles, a bristly rope tied to a bolt in the floor. That is all that's required. They think I'm too old to cause trouble, Stella says. Old age, she says, is power discussed. You know what's wrong? This is long. A plan. It's been 2 days since anyone... 2 days? This has been 2 days? I'm on page 32. Mac is in a bad mood. He says we are losing money. Hand over first. He says he's going to have to sell a whole lot of us. When a blue and yellow mall call depends. Kiss me, big boy. The third time in 10 minutes. Mac throws a soda can at her. Stella's wings are clipped so that she can't fly, but she can still hop. She leaps aside in the nick of me. Buck her up, she says with a throw whistle. Max stomps to his office and slams the door shut. I wonder if my visitors have grown tired of me. Maybe if I learn a trick or two, it'll help. Humans do seem to enjoy watching me eat. Luckily, I am always hungry. I'm a gifted eater. A silverback must eat 45 pounds of food a day if he wants to stay a silverback. 45 pounds of fruits and leaves and seeds and stems and bark and vines and rotten wood. Also, I enjoy occasional insect. I'm going to also try to eat more. Maybe then we'll get more visitors. Tomorrow I will eat 50 pounds of food, maybe even 55. That should make Mac happy. Bob, I explain. to explain my plan to Bob. Ivan, he says, trust me on this one. The problem is not your appetite. He hops onto my chest and licks my chin, checking for leftovers. Bob is a stray, which means he doesn't have a permanent address. He is speedy, so is Willie. The mall workers along the gave him tired of to catch him. Bob can sneak into cracks and crevices that like a tagged rat. He lives well at the ends of hot dogs and pulls from the trash. For dessert, he laughs and spills lemonade and splatters into ice cream cones. I'm tired to share my food with Bob. He is a picky eater and says he prefers to hunt for himself. Bob is tiny, wary, and fast, like a barking squirrel. He is nut-colored and big-eared. His tail moved like weeds in the wind, spiraling and dancing. Bob's tail makes me dizzy and confused. It has a meaning without meaning, like human words. I am sad, it says. I am happy, it says. Beware, I might be tiny, but I'm sharp teeth. Gorillas don't have use for tails. Our feelings are incomplete. Our rums are unadored. Bob used to have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Humans tossed them out of a truck into a freeway. When they got a few weeks old, Bob rolled into a ditch. The others did not. His first night on the highway, Bob slept in the icy mud of his first ditch. When he woke, he was so cold that his legs would not bend for an hour. The next night, Bob slept under some dirty hay near the big top mall garage bins. The following night, Bob found his spot in the corner of my domain where the glass is broken. I dreamed that I'd eaten by a fairy donut. And when I woke in the dark, I discovered my tiny puppy snoring on the top of my belly. It had been so long since I'd felt the comforts of any other's warmth that I had sure to not do. Not that I hadn't had any visitors. Mac has been in my domain. Of course, he had, and many other keepers. I've seen his share of rats zip past, and the occasional wereaway sparrow had fluttered in the through-hole of my ceiling. But they never stayed long. It might have moved for a night, but a fear walking Bob wild. Once I asked Bob why didn't he want to go home. Humans I noticed seem to be fond of dogs, and I could see why a puppy would be easier to cuddle with than, say, a gorilla. Everywhere is my home, Bob answered. I'm a wild beast. My friends unstamped and undotted. I told Bob he could work in the shadow in the shows like Snickers, the poodle who rides Stella. Bob said Snickers sleeps on a pink pillow in Mac's office. He said that she eats foul-smelling meat from a can. He made a face. His lips curled, and feeling my tiny teeth. Poodles, he said, are mean. I mean parasites. Picasso. Mac gives me a fresh crayon, a yellow one, and 10 pieces of paper. Time to earn your keep, Picasso, he mutters. I wonder who this Picasso is. Does he have a tire swing like me? Does he even eat his crayons? I have lost my magic. So I tried to my very best. I clutched my crayons to think. I scanned my domain. What is yellow? A banana. I draw a banana. The paper tears, but only a little. I lean back, and Matt picks up a drawing. Another day, another scribble, he says. 1 down, 9 to go. What else is yellow? I wonder, scanning my domain. I draw another banana. Then I draw 8 more. 3 visitors. 3 visitors are a woman, boy, and a girl. I strut across my domain for them. I dangle from my tire swing and eat 3 banana peels in a row. Boy spits out my window. The girl throws a handful of pebbles. Sometimes I'm glad the glass is there. My visitors return. After the show, a spit pebble children come back. I display my impressive teeth, and I slashy fill of pool. I grunt and hoots, and eat some more. The children pound their pet test. They toss more petals. Slimy chimp, I mutter. I throw a meatball at them. Sometimes I wish the glass were not there. Sorry. I'm sorry that I called those children slimy chimps. My mother will be ashamed of me. That's it.
There are some questions, but you can answer later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm sure you're hungry for lunch.
And I haven't eaten yet.
Because you woke up late.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Bye.